it was kind of like an unspoken rule breaker, was just that everybody got to do what we need to do in order to make this work. So you got to be the janitor one day, you got to be the background singer, you might have to sing the lead, but you gonna have to do some work.
We got the magic happening. Girl, the feeling is great and I'm loving it. Hey, we got the magic happening. Everything that we need, everything that we beg, girl, the magic's happening. And the feeling is great and this feeling is great, girl, the magic happening. It's happening, yeah.
We dated. We went on like a few dates. So I think the first time Maurice met my children was like 6 months after. It was a while because we was just low key, you know, hanging out and things like that. But when we started to get serious, he was like, I want you here every day. I'm tired of you going home or going to get the kids and da-da-da. I want y'all here with me. I'm like, okay. So me and the kids, we moved into Maurice's apartment at that time. And ever since then, we've just all been one.
We waited a while before we decided to integrate the kids into the situation, only just to make sure that what we was trying to do was what it was. And we enjoyed each other's company, but you know, kicking it and living real life is two different things. Like you could kick it with anybody. You can go out with somebody on the weekend and y'all, you know, the sneaky link and y'all drinking and having a good time. But when you taking out that pack of meat, what we finna wash, cause you gotta be up in the morning, it ain't fun. Mm-hmm. It ain't fun no more. We ain't at the club tonight. Homework gotta get done and stuff like that. And like when it started becoming real life, that's when we both kind of knew we had to assume some roles. Like at that time, I was an educator, so the kids' education became primarily my role. You know, to make sure they was led in the right direction and just doing certain things, and she filled in the blanks in other spots. So that was definitely one of the, I would have to say, it was kind of like an unspoken rule breaker, was just that everybody got to do what we need to do in order to make this work. So you got to be the janitor one day, you got to be the background singer, you might have to sing the lead, but you're gonna have to do some work. So that was the biggest thing, that when we came together, when we definitely were blending the kids, we knew it was real work that had to be done.
I just think it was kind of like a unsaid thing, like, you better not cheat on me. And I'm not saying I condone cheating, but when you're married, there are things that you are gonna go through, and it doesn't even have to be cheating, that you're going to kind of compromise and sacrifice and kind of think about, like, you're not just gonna leave. But if those things keep happening, then yes, it's like, okay, if you cheat on me, okay, maybe I can figure it out. But yeah, like cheating, I think was just like this unsaid, like, no, we're not doing that.
Or lying.
Yeah, like a compulsive lying,
I'm the type of person, I hate when people lie for no reason, like, especially if we just having a conversation, and you lying for no reason, or just lying, period. Like, I'm an honest person. I have no reason to lie about anything, so that's how I live my life. That's how, I think that rubbed off on you too, or whatever too, because she's very honest too, so just, just being honest with each other, being honest with yourself, and just, carrying on. That's pretty much what it is.
The one thing I hope stays the same in our relationship 20 years from now is our connection, as far as like I said before, like the vibing out. Like, that's when we really, really like just let go. And he said also with music, we be chilling, or even if we watching movies, it's always like an old movie. And I guess it's maybe like the quality time. I hope that never changes, because I feel like a lot of times that's when we get to be by ourselves, our kid is asleep, and we can actually like breathe. And I just don't want that to change, because if we don't have time for each other or have our main like vibe out sessions or whatever, I feel like we can kind of like grow apart. And I know people, grow apart a little bit in marriage and get close. I know you do that back and forth. But yeah, I definitely say keeping our little vibe out, connection, quality time moments.
what I don't want to change, what I don't want to change 20 years from now is, of course, our company, our vibe, like you said, the way we have so much in common, and just I don't know, like what like you said, music. I think we have a connection with music. Period. Like everything we like, I think has a message behind it too at the same time. So just music, of course the sex. I don't ever want that to change at all. So I don't ever want her style to change. Like I love it. Like I love even when she tries something different. Is she keep it in her own way, and that's what I love about her.
For me, it's there's that one trick that you did that got JoJo here. I mean, was it great? Yeah, just gotta stay the same.
Oh my goodness.
Get that trick done.
Okay.
I ain't gonna tell you what it is, but that's for me, not for you.
I never hope that this changes. So even something like that, just that comment in itself, the humor, I love that. So I hope that never changes.
I still want to be able to kind of talk to her and just be like 100, like where we could just have cool conversations and still be friends. I just want us to have a good foundation still, like 20 years from now, that we could still sit back, joke, drink, and talk shit really, you know what I'm saying? I don't want everything to be so serious, and I want us to still be able to be light and still, I want us to still be us, you know, in 20 years.
I have to say two things. One is him dating me. I love being dated. Like, I love that we still go on dates. I love that we still plan stuff for us to have those moments to ourselves. But also, another thing is for him to still make me feel attractive. Like, I like when we're riding in the car and he rubs my leg or holds my hand. Just make me feel wanted. Like, make me feel like he wants to be on me, if that makes sense.
It's our vibe. I tell her all the time, she ain't gonna never find out a near another. And I ain't trying to find out a near another either. Like, this my partner in crime. I can tell her anything, and she gonna roll with me, or vice versa. She gonna come to me, and I don't give a damn if we gonna sell peanuts on the freeway. Me and my baby gonna be out there making it fucking hot, and y'all gonna have some Planters nuts in y'all mouth, because that's how we rock it. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog.
If I could give advice to someone that's dating right now, that's looking to pursue getting married, if I'm talking to another young woman, I would tell them to make sure that they bring to the table what they expect at the table. I feel like nowadays we live in a day and age in our society where women expect men to have everything together and them to just come live. And it's like, nah, baby, you gotta have a plan too. Because, yeah, I guess we do live in a time where women wanna be kept, but I just never been that woman. So for me, what are you gonna do if he leaves you? That's how I always thought. Like, my daddy always taught me, the lifestyle you wanna live, be able to live it without that person. If you can't live without that person, then you need to hustle harder. You need to be able to handle all of that by yourself.
The advice that I would give to somebody dating in their 30s, you have to pick and choose I feel like you're gonna settle somewhere. But you kind of have to pick and choose what you're willing to settle on. Because we haven't had the experience dating new people in our 30s, but our friends have. So it's like, you're gonna have to take back on something. So you may have to be like, well, I don't like somebody who has long hair. You may have to settle for that. So those little things we have to be like, I don't really know.
Well, it doesn't have to be just like, you know, what meets the eye as far as how the person looks. Is just everybody has their own, you know, crap, their own, you know, bad character flaws or whatever you want to call it. But it's all a matter of like, what are you willing to put up with? Because everybody has that. You're never gonna find anything that's perfect. And social media puts you in a place where you see all these relationship goals and all of that, but all of that stuff is fake. The real is Everybody has their own mess. Find somebody's mess that you're gonna put up with, and don't give up on them. That's all that matters.
Know yourself first. Because if you don't know yourself, how can you really look for anything? Because you don't know what you want. Make sure, like I said, you know yourself, you know what you want, you know what you're looking for, but at the end of the day, you're not going to always get everything you're looking for. But I just say, as long as you can bring all of you to the table, then I think then that other person, they'll fall in love with that, and they'll catch on to that, and they don't have a choice but to love you for you, because that's what you're giving.
Right. One piece of advice I can give a person that's dating in their 30s is making sure both of y'all on the same page as far as communicating. I feel like communication is key to any relationship. Communication, making sure you know what you want, because a lot of times you get in a relationship where one person know what they want and the other person actually don't have a clue of what they want, so it kind of make it an issue, you know what I'm saying? So both just being on the same page, period, and it comes from communication. It starts with communication, and then everything else kind of fall in place.
Stop trying to go with your type. You need to go with the opposite of what you like. If you like thugs, go get you a good guy. You like them chicks that be ratchet, go get you a good woman, dog. That's the problem. We spend more time chasing the person that we like instead of liking the person that like us. Now, why don't you go find somebody that like you? Do that right now. You know who she is. You know who he is, girl. He in your inbox. You been curving him. Answer that.
We got the magic happening. Girl, the feeling is great and I'm loving it.